U10 UAA Dragons are taking the ice for game 2 of the day at Robert Crown Community Center in Evanston, Illinois. This will be their 19th regular season CSDHL league game for the, well, 25-26 season, I suppose. After this morning's game against this team here, Mammoth Hockey Club, Mammoth is now sitting in the Squirt White 2 division and in 4th place with 15 games played, 9 wins, 5 losses, 0 ties, and 19 points. And your Pekin UAA Dragons are now sitting in 5th place with 18 games played, 9 wins, 9 losses, 0 ties, and 18 points. Sorry, I'm shooting from a weird angle down here. There's not really a very good spot. So that's why I'm doing this, in case you're wondering and all disappointed and stuff. Sorry about that. Again, zoom in just a skosh though. Hey, all right, next weekend, Saturday the 17th through Monday the 19th, UHT St. Louis Ice Blast Tournament 2026. We'll have a game on Saturday the 17th versus Peoria Junior Mustangs at 3:05 p.m. Game on Sunday evening versus Miramax Sharks Gray at 5:50 p.m. And Monday the 19th versus Miramax Sharks Blue at 8 a.m. Championship and consolation games will both be at noon on Monday. Across different locations, I assume. I'm not sure where we'll be physically, but noon is when it'll be on TV. Unless you're coming to St. Louis and you want to watch it live in person. And then again, final CSDHL regular season game will be at home versus the Peoria Junior Mustangs at 10 a.m. on Sunday, January 25th. So make sure you come in person if you can see that. And if not, we'll have it here on the channel for you. All right, in numerical order this time. Number 5, Sterling Burks. Number 6, Duncan Hill. Number 7, Braxton Courts. Number 11, Easton Cook. Number 12, Noah Viviano. Number 16, Kian Ledbetter. Number 19, Grayson Blevins. Number 25, Jackson McCoy. Number 29, Nash Moldenauer. Number 33, Jet Nafziger. Number 48, netminder Adelina Johnson. And number 77, Houston Richardson. All right, Pekin UAA Dragons coaching staff consists of head coach Neil Viviano, assistant coaches Chip Hill and Barry Moldenauer. On the bench, we have Brian Blevins, and in the penalty box, Mr. Dustin Cook. Dragons are getting their final powwow underway right now, and we'll be starting here shortly. .33's Daddy for this game was sponsored by Orange Door Double Dry Hopped IPA from Sketchbook Brewing Company. Available here at Robert Crown Community Center. Not too bad. It'll do. All right, let's go Dragons. Final game of the weekend here for your U10 UAA Dragons. Looks like we'll have Courts at center, Viviano and Hill on the wing, Nafziger and Moldenauer on defense, and Addie Johnson in net. I'll do my best to keep up here, folks. This angle's really hard, especially when they're coming at me, but bear with me. I'll try my best. As always, 33's Daddy. Not perfect, ladies and gentlemen. All right, here comes the referee. Looks like we got the single zebra formation today. This is Pekin Dragons, NCAA hockey, and course for the face-off. Mammoth takes it back. Nafziger brings it over to the far side, and puck goes out of play. 11:51 remaining in the first period. Still scoreless. Face-off in the neutral zone, I think. Yep. Same lineup. And courts for the face-off. Chips it through the fetus of Mammoth players. They'll turn it around in the neutral zone and head back towards the Dragons blue line there and in up the near side. All the way back to the back wall there. They'll feed one out in center, and No Viviano picks it up, brings it out to the neutral zone, and Braxton Courts knocks it all the way down. Up here into the near corner and the Mammoth zone. Mammoth takes it back out to the neutral zone. Moldenhauer's all over him there, and Duncan Hill comes in to help out. Back to Courts. Turns it around, got out in front of him there. Mammoth holds it out of their zone, and they'll bring it back up the near side. Moldenhauer turns it around, brings it back over the center line. Centering feed there, got picked off, and Mammoth heading back the other way. Nafziger back to defend. And save Johnson over to the near corner. And Nafziger will bring it up the far side. That was the far corner. Far side. I'm closer to this corner, so that's the near corner. And Mammoth collects it, brings it around the back of their net. And Blevins picked him off, send it up into the crease there, and Mammoth, sorry about that, Mammoth will bring it over to the near side and back out to the neutral zone we go. Jackson McCoy back up to Cookie and down into the Mammoth zone. Mammoth scoops it up. They'll stop on this side of the net, back off the near side. McCoy holds it in. Back to Blevins at the top of the face-off circle. Dangles around, sends a shot wide and over to the other side of the net. And Mammoth tries to bring it back up out of the zone. Burks holds it in, and Dragons still hold it in. Ooh, Richardson fired one off of a Mammoth face mask there, and Blevins will send one wide over to the near side around the back of the net. Here comes Mammoth back across the neutral zone. McCoy back to defend, and Burks comes back to help. Save Johnson! Caught it in the mitt. 9:41 remaining in the first period. Still scoreless. Face off in the Dragon zone way down there. We want to see all the action down here. That's where we want to see it. Leave a thumbs up on the video if you want to see all the action down here. All right, looks like Courts of center, Ledbetter and no, I'm not sure who's on the wing there. Oh. Well, Duncan Hill is. That's it. All right. And Nafziger and Moldenhauer on defense. Nafziger picks off that shot attempt, skates it around the back of the Dragons net. Tried to dangle around some Mammoth players there, and he got stripped. And Johnson makes the save. Back to a Mammoth player at the top of the zone. Over to Ledbetter on the near side. Tries to paddle it back out. Got an arm in the air there, and that's going to be a penalty on the Dragons. Well, it's not 1-0. Sorry, I'll fix it. I don't know how that happens. I didn't touch it. Must be ghosts. Blevins at center, looks like Courts. And I'm not sure. McCoy and Nafziger on defense. That's right. All right, Nafziger grabs it behind the back of the net, sends it up to Braxton Courts, waiting at the top of the blue line there, or in the blue line at the top of the zone, and back to Blevins. And here comes Mammoth back out to the neutral zone. Oh, ice is slippery today, folks. Gotta watch that. Mammoth brings it back up the far side across the neutral zone and down into the Dragon zone. And let's send a shot, save, or might have went wide, I'm not sure. Over to the near side, Quartz comes back to meet him. Looks like he got checked, and that might be a delayed penalty on Mammoth there if we're lucky. Oh, we do have 2 zebras today. He must have joined us late. 8:31 remaining in the first period. And 46 seconds remaining on the Dragons penalty kill there. And back out to the neutral zone we go, all the way down. Looks like puck is bouncing on net, and the Mammoth netminder will keep it in play. No, he won't. He'll cover it up in the blue paint. Good job, goalie. Face off in the Mammoth zone. 8:08 remaining in the first. 28 seconds remaining on the Dragons penalty. Quartz at center, Cook on the wing, Nefziger and Burks on the fence. And Quartz for the face-off over to Cookie. He'll send it back into the far corner, and then Mammoth will carry it back out across the neutral zone. Cross-ice pass to a Mammoth player waiting on the near side, and he'll send a shot behind the back of the Dragons net and over to the far corner in the Dragon zone there. Mammoth holds it in. And Nefziger steers it back out across the neutral zone, sends it into the Mammoth zone there. Mammoth will collect it. Brings it back over to the near side, and Burks back to defend. Mammoth enters the Dragon zone. And puck's loose in the slot there. Nefziger back out to the neutral zone. Nope. Yep. Offside. Offside Mammoth. Hopefully the signal's coming through okay. I'm on the City of Evanston Yes Wi-Fi. Hopefully there's nothing wrong with that. Oh, sorry about that. And I only had 2 bars of 5G in this rink, so here we are. Blevins at center, Hill and Viviano on the wing, Nefziger and McCoy on defense. Blevins for the face-off. And Mammoth brings it up the far side, back out to the neutral zone. Nefziger back to defend. And McCoy will try to chase him down as well. Shot goes through the crease and over to the back wall on the near side there, and Blevins comes in for it. Picks it up. Cross-ice pass to Viviano, waiting in the neutral zone. Ooh, just got out ahead of him there, and Mammoth turns it back around. He'll skate it up the far side and send it over into the near corner down in the Dragon zone. Back up to the point, and Duncan Hill scraped it out across the neutral zone. Mammoth circles back, collects it in their zone, sends it back out across the neutral zone to Burks. Burks, ooh, got ran over there in the neutral zone. And over to Viviano on the far side. He'll send it up into the Mammoth zone again. Mammoth collects it. Back to Viviano at the point, and back to Blevins. Blevins sends a shot, got deflected, and the Mammoth netminder will glove that down. 6:18 remaining in the first. Still scoreless. Face off in the Mammoth zone. Quartz at center, Ledbetter and Richardson on the wing. Quartz for the face-off. Back to the far corner this time, and Mammoth will chip it up the far boards. They'll skate it out to the neutral zone. Cross-ice pass, and Burks got in the way of that. He'll dump it into the Mammoth zone, and back out to the neutral zone we go. Dumps it back into the Mammoth zone, this time all the way to the far corner. And Quartz races back for it. Sends a shot through the crease. Stick save. Well, yeah, Burks holds it in. Back to Richardson and back to Burks. Sends a bouncer on net. Oh, over the top of the stick and just wide of the post. Back out to the neutral zone again. Nefziger back to defend. And puck goes off the side of the net there, looked like. Back to Nafziger. You guys can't see a dang thing. Here we go. Back across the neutral zone. And back across the neutral zone the other way. McCoy will bring it back up this time and skates it in to the Mammoth zone. Sends a shot. Glove save. Mammoth. Looks like it was a little bit high over the bar there, but he got it in the net. 5:04 remaining in the first period. Blevins the center, Viviano and Hill on the wing, Nafziger and McCoy on defense. And Blevins for the faceoff. Mammoth tried to bring it back up the slot. Duncan Hill sends a shot over the top of the net and over to the far corner this time. Blevins comes back to meet him, and so does Viviano. Here comes Blevins, feeds it out in front, and Mammoth will collect that. And turns it around on the side of the net there, and Duncan Hill got in the way. Sends a shot. Oh, got deflected off the side of the net. Blevins comes back, and puck bounces off the far boards there. They'll advance across the neutral zone. And, ooh, puck bounces back to the neutral zone there. That's going to be an offside call, I believe. 4:25 remaining in the first. Still scoreless. Face off in the neutral zone. And Courts for the face off. Back to Mammoth, and they'll try to advance it into the Dragon zone, and they do. Turn it around on the near side there this time. We got bodies hitting the floor all over the place. And looks like there's a penalty on the play there. Looks like little Easton Cook's going to go off for a minute 30. All right, another Dragons penalty kill. Courts at center. Nafziger and Burks on defense. Yeah, and Blevins on the wing. All right. Nafziger and Blevins battling in the far corner. Nafziger got checked into there. And whoop. That's going to be a goal for Mammoth. All right. 3:48 remaining in the first period. Both teams will be full strength. And Dragons down by 1. Blevins at center, Cook and Richardson on the wing, Nafziger and McCoy on defense. And Mammoth brings it up the near side down into the Dragon zone. Dragons are back to get in the way there, and Nafziger will scoop that up, skates it around the back of the Mammoth net and over to the far side. Back, tried to do a cross-ice pass there. Easton Cook's in a foot race for it, and it'll come back to McCoy. Back to Nafziger again. And around the back of the Dragons net, dangles around some Mammoth traffic there. Sends it out across the neutral zone. And he didn't wait till he got across the center line, evidently, because we're going to have an icing call, and we'll be back down on the other end where we don't want to be. And so it goes. Courts at center, Hill and Viviano on the wing. McCoy and Burks on defense. And Mammoth holds it into the Dragon zone, skates it around the face-off circle, and all the Dragons get in the way this time. Over to the far side, back up to Courts, and we got another delayed penalty on the Dragons, it would seem. Might be one of those games, folks. Too early to tell. We'll see. Sterling Burks goes off for 1:30. 2:56 remaining in the first period. And Dragons down by 1. Face off in the Dragon zone. Up. Puck's loose in the Dragon zone. Mammoth collects it, sends a shot through the crease over to the far side. And Mammoth fans on their shot. He'll send another one in. Nafziger stops that shot and tries to get it out of the zone. Just can't get it there, and puck goes back to the back wall. Oh no! Save Johnson! Puck gets deflected back to the back wall and over to the near side. And Hill battling for it. Back to Nafziger, and he'll send it across the back wall there. Courts will chase it down on the far side. Mammoth holds it in the zone. And Mammoth sends another shot through the crease there and over to the near side this time. McCoy sends it back to the blue line. Mammoth holds it in. And there we go. Nafziger scoops it back out across the neutral zone. That'll be another icing call. 1:44 remaining in the first period. 18 seconds remaining on the Burks penalty. Dragons down by 1. Face off in the Dragon zone. Blevins at center. Cook on the wing. Nafziger and McCoy on defense. Yep. Blevins for the face-off. Over to Nafziger. He'll feed it off the far side boards, and Mammoth will slam it back to the back wall off the back of the Dragons net. McCoy picks it up. Skates it up the near side. And out to the neutral zone. Mammoth collects it. And back to Blevins. Sends it down into the Mammoth zone down here. Mammoth collects it and skates it back up the near side. Whoa, Cookie held it in at the blue line, sent it back to the back wall here in the Mammoth zone, and Mammoth skates it up the far side this time. Blevins gets in the way of that. Oh, tried to pass it back and got intercepted there. Back to Blevins again, looking for Cookie. And oh, fanned on the shot there, and I got to zoom out. You guys are probably barfing in your recliners at home, huh? Sorry about that. You can send the bill to Mammoth Hockey Club in Evanston, Illinois. Here comes Courts, send it around the back of the net and up the far side. Nafziger holds it in, sends it back to Courts again. And, oh, puck spilled back out across the neutral zone. Courts is in a foot race for it, and he'll get there first. Oh, left the puck behind there, and he'll stop behind the Dragons net and over to Sterling Burks up the near side. I think that's him. Yep. Mammoth holds it in the zone. Whoa, save Johnson, I think. That came off the back wall there, and then over to the far side, over by the Dragons bench. That's going to do it for the first period of play, folks. Dragons down by 1 after 1. Time to take a pause for station identification. Hat-trick sponsor, Mr. Kurt Nafziger, the coolest cousin ever. Wagenbach Builders, construction company since 1980 out of Tremont. You got a project, contact Wagenbach Builders at 309-925-5205 or wagenbachbuilders.com. 2121 Sports, Dan Engelbreit will give you an edge. Give him a call, 309-241-0712 for professional skate sharpening, skate profiling, some skate repair. Find him on Facebook as well. Ledbetter Insurance, trusted leader in auto, homeowners, and business insurance. Give them a call, 309-673-5544, ledbetterins.com. And then we have Mr. Toet's Record Service, established in 2012 out of Peoria. 309-360-3123 or MrTowittsRecordService.com. Mike and Sandy Robertson and Wayne and Aaron Woods. Thank you so much for your sponsorships this season. And we're back for period 2. Blevins at center. Richardson and Cook on the wing. And Blevins for the faceoff. Mammoth brings it up the far side across the neutral zone. Blevins gets in the way there and Nafziger back to defend. He'll strip that puck. Sends it up the far side this time. Mammoth holds it in and it's lost in some skates there. Get the puck! Back to the back wall. Mammoth gets there first. And back to Nafziger and Blevins battling in the far corner there. And Richardson comes in to help out. Mammoth advances towards the net, and that'll bounce off the side there. Burks comes in after him. And so does Houston Richardson. Puck still loose, and Richardson went down on his side there, and everybody's hit the ground. Nafziger scoops it up, and he'll backhand it out to the neutral zone. Mammoth will get there first, brings it back in on side, and back to Nafziger in the slot. He'll skate it back out across the neutral zone. Sends a shot, and that got deflected off of a Mammoth leg there. Back to Cookie in the center, over Sterling Burks, sends a shot. Oh, just didn't get through. Here comes Mammoth. 2-on-1, back to Nafziger, back to defend. Pass went wide over the far side, and Burks swoops in for it. And Nafziger will pick that up. Skates back out to the neutral zone. All the way down. Sends a shot from the face-off circle. That goes through the crease and over to the far boards. And back to Burks at the point. Sends a shot. Nope, that went to the back wall as well. And back to Richardson. Sends another shot. Blevins shot. Man, we're getting some shots here at least. I don't know if any of them are close to the net or not, but scoring opportunities, that's what they're called. All right, Mammoth will scoop it up behind their net and send it off the near side there. Dragons hold it in the zone. Oop, here comes Courts. He'll swoop in from behind and steal the puck. Sends it back to the back wall, and Richardson will go back for it. Tried to feed one back, and Mammoth's going to snatch that. Sends it up out of the Mammoth zone, up the far side there. Burks got in the way of that. Pass it back up to Richardson, and he'll dump it all the way down on net. Glove save, Mammoth. And we'll have a face-off in the Mammoth zone. With 9:08 remaining in the second period. Nafziger and McCoy on defense. Courts for the face-off, and puck goes back to the far corner. Mammoth carries it up the far side rather, and then they'll advance out to the neutral zone. And that shot goes wide over the far side. Back to Nafziger. He'll send it around the back wall over to the near side this time. And he'll scoop that up again. Carries it up the far side this time. Just can't bust through all the Mammoth traffic. They're guarding him quite a bit. All the way down to the back wall in the Mammoth zone. Courts swoops in from behind. Tries to center one up. Nafziger from the blue line. Pass to Viviano. Yeah, Viviano, I think. He'll battle for it on the far boards there, and then Mammoth brings it back out to the neutral zone. Nafziger will collect that. Uh-oh. Passed it right to a Mammoth player, and Courts will send it up the near side. Get it out! Get it out! Back to Courts. He'll carry it across the neutral zone. Sends it into the Mammoth zone, and Duncan Hill busts it in a little further. Puck goes over the near side boards this time, and Blevins will race after it. Mammoth collects it on the back wall, and we're in a foot race. Duncan Hill nipping at their heels, and Mammoth brings it back out to the neutral zone. Carries it down into the Dragon zone, over into the far corner. And back to McCoy. Sends it off the back wall. And over to the near side, Duncan Hill will come in after it, and they'll scoop it all the way down from the center line. That'll go all the way to the back wall, and Mammoth will get there first around the back of their net. And they'll bring it back out across the neutral zone. Save Johnson! All right, Nafziger scoops up that rebound, and Blevins will scoop it up to the blue line. Mammoth holds it in. And back to Richardson in the neutral zone. Sends it in off the back wall, down in the Mammoth zone, and Mammoth will collect it on the far side this time. Pass it back out to the neutral zone. And Nafziger strips that puck. Back to Mammoth in the neutral zone again. Dragons are battling for it up the near side. And McCoy is going to skate it into the Mammoth zone, and he'll let it go. Mammoth will pick it up in the face-off circle here on the near side, and they'll turn it around. Send it back up to Mammoth player waiting at the blue line there, and they'll send it across the neutral zone. Back to Blevins. Nope, back to Nafziger. And out to the neutral zone again. Back to Ledbetter. Back to Nafziger. And he'll send it all the way down. Duncan Hill in a foot race for it to the back wall. And we got an arm in the air. Delayed penalty on the Dragons. 5:32 remaining in the second period. Duncan Hill's going to go off for a minute 30. Coach is instructing the kids to probably not pick each other up when one of them goes down hurt, I would imagine. Players will take a knee. Apparently this is a teaching moment. I don't know what's going on. .532 remaining in the second. I don't know if we got a timeout here or what's going on. Oh, they're working on the clock. Oh, Duncan Hill's got a 5-minute penalty there on the board. Okay. Well, that's nice. That's a 4-minute penalty. That's what the clock says now. So 4-minute minor, I guess. I don't know. I'm confident somebody knows what's going on. It's just not me, folks. All right. All right, course for the face-off, and they'll send a shot on goal. Save Johnson. That one bounced off the post and the crossbar, I think. Back to Mammoth in the slot. That gets deflected back here to the back wall and bounces out to the face-off circle. Courts will scoop it up. Go! Back to Mammoth in the Mammoth zone. They'll turn it around, bring it across the neutral zone. And back to Mammoth. Top of the face-off circle. McCoy blocks that shot, and he'll come back out with it. Out to the neutral zone. And Quartz comes in behind, strips that puck, and Mammoth back across the neutral zone they come. Back to Burks. Ripped it off the shin of a number 97 there for the Mammoth team, and they'll bring it back in right up the slot. Burks back to defend. Oh no! Blew a tire. Save Johnson! Back to McCoy. And puck still remains inside the Dragon zone. And Burks got in the way of that shot. Back to Quartz on the back wall. And looks like Quartz is down there. Nope, that's Burks. I'm sorry. Remaining in the Duncan Hill double minor, and Quartz for the face-off. Comes over to the near side there. Puck gets deflected to the back wall. Jackson McCoy will hunt it down and get it out. There you go. Poke checked it over to the near side and back to Noah Viviano. Just can't escape the zone. Puck rolls back to the other side of the net there, and Mammoth holds it in. Here comes Braxton Quartz from behind, and he's off to the races. Got one guy to beat. Lost it in his feet there, and another backhand. Ooh, backhander through the crease, and just couldn't get there in time. Back to Mammoth again. Oh, they get stripped, and puck comes out to Nafziger at the neutral zone. They'll dump it in up the near side. And he'll battle it back up to Courts, top of the neutral zone there. And he'll turn it around. Another shot on goal, save Mammoth. 3:01 remaining in the second. 1:30 remaining in the Duncan Hill double minor. I think that's what it is anyway. I don't know. Blevins at center, Burks and Knapziger on defense, and Courts on the wing. And Blevins for the face-off. Drives the puck back to the back wall, and Mammoth will send it up the near side. Advance back out to the neutral zone there, and Courts will turn it around. Sends it towards the net there, and Mammoth will stop that shot. And back to Knapziger in the neutral zone. Sends it in up the near side all the way to the back wall. Mammoth gets there first. And they'll bring it up the far side this time. Dragons can't hold it in. And they'll advance. 2-on-1. Save Johnson. Yeah, they'll swat it out over the near side. Back to Courts. Dumps it out to the blue line there. And Burks will race back for it over in the far corner. Back to Mammoth behind the Dragons net. Burks comes back to meet him. And back to a Mammoth player. Fires one off of Courts there. Back to Knapziger. And across the neutral zone he goes. Cuts in. Sends a shot. Ooh, save Mammoth. And Courts tries to center one up. Gets it up to Burks at the blue line, and he'll send another bomb in. That'll get intercepted by some Mammoth players. Another shot. Back to Courts right up front. Ooh, save Mammoth. He got robbed on that. Kick save. Good job, goalie. Back to Blevins in the near corner. And puck's still loose. Ow! Goal, Dragons! Looks like a Blevins goal. 1:18 remaining in the second period. Dragons knotted up at 1 goal apiece. All right, we're starting over. 1:18 left to go in the second period. Blevins at center, Richardson and Cook on the wing, Burks and McCoy on defense. And Blevins for the face-off, over to Cookie. Easton Cook races it in, advances towards the net there. Mammoth got in the way, and they'll send it back up to the blue line. McCoy holds it in, sends it back up to the back wall, and Blevins will race back for it. And Mammoth sends it back up the near side, and they'll advance out to the neutral zone. Burks comes over to meet it, sends it off the near boards there, back to McCoy, and he'll advance back in. Sends a shot. Ooh, high bouncer over to the far corner there, and back to Blevins in the far corner. Brings it back out, comes back to McCoy at the blue line, sends a shot. Ooh, off the back wall there, and Blevins back to Burks at the blue line, sends another shot. Ooh, Blevins tried to get the tip there. Okay, Mammoth tries to race it into the neutral zone, and Blevins will scoop that up. Skates it back in, advances towards the net, sends a shot. Loose puck. Oh, back to Mammoth over here. And they'll carry it back behind their net. Back to Burks again. Oh, he stepped on the puck there, it looked like. Yeah, we got a penalty on the play there. Looks like Richardson took a kid out. I'm not sure if he meant to or not. 1.5 seconds remaining in the second period. Oh, and there's a Mammoth kid that's going into the box. Maybe we got matching penalties? I don't know. Looks like number 7 for the Mammoth squad's off, and 77, Mr. Houston Richardson, off for our team. So I think we should both be full strength. And face-off will be in the neutral zone, I think. All right. Blevins at center. Courts on the wing with Ledbetter and Burks and McCoy on defense. And Blevins for the face-off. Chips it into Mammoth zone. That's going to do it for the second period of play, folks. Dragons and Mammoth tied at 1 apiece after 2 periods. All right, Slapshot sponsors, Mackinac IGA, friendly neighborhood store with groceries and so much more. Look them up at MackinacIGA.com or stop into Mackinac IGA in Mackinac, Illinois and tell them that Pekin 10U AA Dragons sent ya. Then we got Ryan Powers, attorney at law. Contact Powers Law for all your legal needs, 309-349-3835. You can find him on Facebook as well. Skin Deep WT, specializing in Botox fillers and hair removal. You can find them on Facebook. Located in Morton, Illinois. Phone number is 309-453-9997. And we have SL Audio and Lighting, established in 2018 for professional sound and lighting for live music and events. Contact them on Facebook or 309-349-6308. Todd's Touch Lawn Care out of Bellevue, servicing the Peoria area, 309-657-0995. And as always, Sean and Laura Garrett, John King, House of Kyler, Jim and Sue Knapfziger, Mark and Sue Wells, and Jason Jones approves. Also, don't forget about Cook & Sons Auto Body in Pekin, 309-353-7971. And that concludes our sponsors for today's game. All right, third period starts now. Courts for the face-off, and Mammoth brings it back into the Dragon zone. Send a shot. And I believe that's a goal, Mammoth. Dragons down by 1. 11:47 remaining in regulation. Their horns long enough. Courts center, Cook and Ledbetter on the wing, and Knapfziger and McCoy on defense. Mammoth brings it back into the Dragon zone, and looks like Cookie will strip that out. Back to Courts. Tries to advance across the neutral zone, gets stripped there, and puck goes bouncing back into the Dragon zone. Knapfziger will scoop it up. Oh, got stripped there at the top of the face-off circle. Pass it back out to Courts in the neutral zone. Got out ahead of him there, and Mammoth will fire it back in all the way to the back wall. And McCoy will race back for it. Back to Easton Cook. And he'll dump it out to the neutral zone. Mammoth scoops it up, and they'll send a cross-ice pass over the near side there. McCoy gets in the way of that. And puck spills back into the Mammoth zone, but they're not having any of that, so they'll carry it across the neutral zone and enter back into the Dragon zone. And Courts brought it over to the near side this time, and he'll get around one player, but puck's still in the zone, and Knapfziger back to Cookie, and he'll dump it back out to center ice. Mammoth turns it back around again. And Knapfziger strips that puck, feeds it over to McCoy, races it up the near side, across the neutral zone, and back to Knapfziger. Oh, saved Mammoth. Dang it. Back up the near side again. Dragons almost hold it in, but Mammoth's off to the races across the neutral zone. McCoy and Knapfziger back to defend. McCoy catches a bounce there, and he'll bring it off the near side this time. Mammoth will collect it in their zone. And off the far side this time. Back to the neutral zone. Mammoth advances back into the Dragon zone. Save Johnson. Ooh, I think she might have got another one. And over to the near side this time. Mammoth holds it in the zone. Bombed a shot over everybody's head there, and Sterling Burks caught that with his glove, it looked like. And then back over to the near corner in the Dragon zone. Mammoth comes out with it. And McCoy strips that puck, sends it off the far boards this time, looking for Courts. Oh, just couldn't poke it out. Viviano comes in from behind and tries to help it out. And puck spills back behind the back of the Dragon's net. Over to Burks. Oh. And back to Blevins. There we go, across the neutral zone. 2 guys to beat. Got 1 guy at his heels. Whoa, lifted the stick, still got the shot. Yeah, goal Dragons! That's 2 for Blevins. Looks like Mammoth accidentally chipped that into their old net there. 8:40 remaining in regulation. Dragons and Mammoth tied at 2 apiece. Blevins at center, Viviano and Richardson on the wing. Knapsager and Burks on defense. And Blevins for the face-off. Ball comes over to Viviano there. He'll chip it a little further this way, and Mammoth will bring it back. Blevins comes over to help. Mammoth sends it in offside. 8:30 remaining in regulation. And Blevins for the face-off. Back to Burks. He'll feed it back out to the neutral zone there, and Mammoth enters in up the near side. Advances towards the net there. And save Johnson. I didn't see where that bounced, but she got in front of it there, and puck's still loose out here into the neutral zone. Mammoth races back for it. Cross-ice pass, and over to the near side this time. They'll try to advance it up. Dragons get in the way. Burks back out to center ice, and Mammoth slaps it back over towards the near side. And back to Richardson, back to Blevins. Oh. And back to Viviano. Races it up the near side into the Mammoth zone. And puck gets stripped over to the near boards there. Richardson gets in the way. Burks shoves it all the way back to the back wall. And Mammoth will collect it. Back to Knapsager at the point. Advances up the far side and sends it all the way to the back wall. Looking for Burks at the blue line. Sends another shot through the traffic and over to the back wall. Blevins comes in after it. Goal, Dragons! That's a hat trick for Grayson Blevins. And the Dragons are up by 1. Woo! All right, Courts at center. Cook and Ledbetter on the wings. McCoy and Knapsager on defense. 7:16 remaining in regulation. Dragons up by 1. Courts for the face-off. Puck spills into the Dragon zone over the near side there. Knapsager snatches that puck, skates it around the back of the Dragons net, dangles around some Mammoth traffic, brings it out to the neutral zone. Right up the far side boards and down into the Mammoth zone, sends a shot wide and over to the near side. Courts comes in after it there, and Mammoth sends it out to the neutral zone. They'll enter into the Dragon zone. Send a shot wide. What? I guess we're tied at 3 again. And we're starting over with 6:39 remaining in regulation. Dragons and Mammoth tied at 3 apiece. timeout here. Looks like timeout, Dragons maybe. I'm gonna take a sip of my delicious orange door. Double dry hot IPA. All right, 6:39 left in regulation. And we're gonna have a face off at center ice. All right, courts at center. Burks and Nafziger on defense. Ledbetter and Easton Cook on the wings. And course for the face-off. Try to get it through the feet of a Mammoth player there in the face-off circle, and Mammoth will slap it up the far side all the way down. That'll be nice and call, and we'll have a face-off in the Mammoth zone, right where we want to be. Same lineup, courts for the face-off, and he'll chase it over to the far side. Ooh, tried to pass it back up the far boards to Nafziger there, and he's going to have to chase it down all the way in the Dragon zone. Back out, over the near side there, and Dragons can't escape the zone. Mammoth holds it in. Send it in a little deeper there, and Easton Cook will send one all the way down for an icing call. 6:07 remaining in regulation, and we'll have another face-off down in the Dragon zone this time. Right where we don't want to be. All right, Blevins at center. Looks like Viviano and Richardson on the wing. And Mammoth bombed another one from the blue line there. It looks like Burke's got in the way of that. He'll carry it around the back of the Dragons net there over to the near side this time, and he'll try to scoop one back out. Sends it back to the blue line, and Mammoth fired one off the back of Houston's helmet there, it looked like. Back to Mammoth at the blue line. They'll advance back up. And Dragons got in the way of that there. Puck comes over to the far side this time. And Mammoth will send it across the back wall over to the near corner. And over to Burks on the far side there. He'll try to scoop it up. Mammoth holds it in. Back to Burks again. And that comes all the way over here to the near side this time. And Noah Viviano's in a foot race for it. Oh, he did get there first, but got his stick lifted. Blevins holds it in the zone momentarily there. So does Richardson, and puck spills back out. Burks stops it in the neutral zone, sends it back across, and Blevins is in high pursuit. Whoop, puck bounced off the referee's leg there and spills back out to the neutral zone. Back to Mammoth, advance back into the Dragon zone. And, looks like we got in the way of that one. Go, Mammoth. Courts at center, Ledbetter and Cook on the wing. Nefziger and Burks on defense. And Courts for the face-off. Puck's lost in the feet under the referee there. And Mammoth sends a shot on goal. Save Johnson. Back to Nefziger on the back wall. Chips it up to Easton Cook. And he was looking for Courts. Somebody found Courts, and here he comes. Back to Ledbetter, and he'll dump it in. Mammoth will collect that and skate it over to the far side there. Back to Easton Cook. And back to Ledbetter. Oh, back to Courts. Yeah, we got the stoppage in play in the crease here. Looks like Mammoth makes the save. 3:52 remaining in regulation. Dragons down by 1. And we'll have a face-off in the Mammoth zone. See if we can't tie this thing up one more time. And then maybe even take the lead here soon. That'd be all right. Courts for the face-off. And back to Nefziger at the blue line. Tried to feed it back to Courts. Found Cookie instead, and he got a shot on goal. Save Mammoth. And Mammoth sends it up the near side. Burks fed it back into the traffic there and save Mammoth. We'll have another face-off.
Come on! Are you kidding?
Looks like we got matching penalties again. And we'll have a face-off over on this face-off circle this time. Courts at center. Viviano and Blevins on the wings. Nope. Well, I guess we're going back to the neutral zone. Yeah, Viviano and Blevins on the wing. Nefziger and Burks on defense. Courts for the face-off. Over to Blevins, and he'll send it off the near side boards. And we got a whistle on the play there. Must have been offside. Courts for the face-off. Chips it all the way down to the back wall and the Mammoth zone. Mammoth scoops it up, skates it up the far side there, and they'll pass it up. Oh, Dragons hold it in. Courts turns it around. Sends a bouncer. Got deflected there. And Blevins is nipping at their heels. Back to Nefziger in the neutral zone, and he'll send it up the far side boards. Back to Mammoth. Mammoth. Stretch pass over to the near side there, and Burks is in a foot race for it. All the way to the back wall there. Mammoth. Centering pass. Ooh, loose puck. And looks like Viviano will pass that up to Blevins. He'll advance across the neutral zone. And up the far side. Ooh, looking for a pass to Courts there. And Nefziger will snatch that in the face-off circle. Back through some traffic in front of the net. And over to Blevins in the far corner. Back to Richardson. Oh, and here comes Mammoth. Back up to the blue line there. Dragons still managed to hold it in. And back to Burks. Sends a shot. Goal! Goal, Dragons! And the Dragons and Mammoth are tied at 4 apiece. 2:15 remaining in regulation. All right, face off at center ice. Courts at center. Richardson and Blevins on the wing. McCoy and Nefziger on defense. And from the face-off, puck gets sent down into the Dragon zone. Nefziger will chase that down on the near side. Skates it around the back of the Dragon's net with some speed. Puck got stripped over to the far boards there, but he's still pushing forward there. And back to Richardson, and he'll skate it up, passes it to Courts. Courts sends it through the feet, and puck's still loose. No, it's not. Save Mammoth. 146 remaining in regulation. Dragons and Mammoth tied at 4 apiece. Easton Cook and Grayson Blevins on the wings. Courts at center, and Nefziger and McCoy on defense. Courts for the face-off. Puck goes over the far side there. Nefziger holds it in. Sends it off the legs of some Mammoth players. And they'll shoot it off of Grayson Blevins. He'll send it up the near side there. McCoy will snatch that up. Back to Nefziger. And feeds it back over to Easton Cook on the far side. Go! Oh, puck's lost in the feet there, and Mammoth heads back the other way. Back to Courts, back to Mammoth, and they're going to advance into the Dragon zone. Dragons force them over to the near side, and Blevins back to McCoy off the near boards. McCoy races it across the neutral zone, got stripped there, and Mammoth carries it back in up the near side. Nefziger got in the way of that. And, fired a shot through the crease and over to the far boards. And back to Blevins on the back wall. All the way up to the blue line. Mammoth bombs another one back in, and goal Mammoth. .3 seconds remaining in regulation. And Courts for the face-off. Back to Blevins in the neutral zone. He'll dump it all the way down to the near corner. Go! Back to Viviano. Sends a shot. Ooh, just wide, and yeah! Courts goal! Dragons and Mammoth tied at 5 apiece.
Let's go, Dragons!
All right. 16.2 remaining in regulation. Courts at center. And he'll chip it across the neutral zone. Mammoth sends it back to Nefziger there. He'll get it around some Mammoth players and down into the Mammoth zone. And Courts races back for it. Back to Blevins. That's going to do it for regulation, folks. Well, we got a point. And we're going to extra minutes. So, the 6-game pointless drought has come to an end. Now we just got to see if we can clinch this W and end the winless streak. All right. If you're new to the regular season league rules here, overtime is 5 minutes, sudden death, 3-on-3. So we'll have Blevins and Nefziger and Courts. Nope. Blevins and... Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yep. Coach just needed a word there. All right, Blevins, that's center, Nefziger and Courts are on the ice as well. And Mammoth Turns it around, counters back into the Mammoth or the Dragon zone. Send a shot, save Johnson. Court scoops that over to the far side, carries it across. And he got some guys in his way there. Puck goes over to the far boards, back to Blevins. He'll peel it off the far side and sends a shot, save Mammoth. And whistle blows for 4:28 remaining in overtime. Oh yeah, I didn't change the period. There we go. Period number 4. All right, Blevins going off. Easton Cook's coming on. Nafziger and Cook. And Courts for the faceoff. And back to Nafziger, holds it in the zone. Back to Courts. And Mammoth got a stick on that, it looked like. Back out to the neutral zone we come. Back to Cookie at center ice. And Nafziger. Uh-oh. And puck goes all the way to the back wall. Save Johnson. Back to Courts. He'll send it off the near side and down into the neutral zone. Mammoth will scoop that up. Cross ice pass to the far side. Nafziger comes in from behind. Passes it to himself off the boards. Nope, passes it to Easton Cook. Oh, lost the puck in some feet there, and Courts will race back into the neutral zone for it. 3:40 remaining in overtime. Courts drags it across center ice. And we got a line change going on here. Mammoth comes back. And back to Nafziger. He'll strip that over to the near side this time. And down. Back to Richardson. And he'll dump it in all the way. Richardson in a foot race for it. He'll get there first in the far corner. Centering pass. Oh, Mammoth got it first. Back to Blevins. Holds it in the zone. Sends a shot. Ooh, just wide. And over to Richardson in the far corner there. And Mammoth comes back out with it. Nafziger holds it in. Well, buddy. Pass to Richardson. Oh, just couldn't get it off the stick with any gas on it there. 2:48 remaining in overtime. Good try. Courts for the faceoff. Oh, man, snuck away with it there, and Burks tried to strip the puck. Jackson McCoy races back, got a stick on it, and back to Courts. Races it across center ice, send it all the way down, and Mammoth's going to cover that up. 2:31 remaining in regulation. Face-off in the Mammoth zone. Not regulation, overtime. Courts for the face-off. Mammoth races it down into the Dragon zone there. And puck's loose to Burks. Burks brings it across the neutral zone. Sends a shot. Oh! Netminder got a glove on it there. Courts got sent into the boards there. And here comes Mammoth back to the neutral zone. That shot went wide and over to the far side. Blevins will race in after it. And here he comes, across the neutral zone. Gets it through the feet of some Mammoth players. And, oh, came back for it. Just couldn't slap it past their stick there. Here comes Mammoth back across the neutral zone. Uh-oh, yeah! Nafziger stole the puck. Back to Nafziger. Loose puck. And dang it, gave it right back to Mammoth. What are you doing? Go get it. And Cookie sends it over to the far side. Uh-oh, loose puck. And Mammoth almost got a shot. Here comes McCoy. Right back across the neutral zone. And over to the far side. Easton Cook. Pass back to Nafziger. Oh, just wide. Get it! Back to Cookie. Fired it off a Mammoth player there, and advance back out to the neutral zone. Halfsticker's in a foot race for it, and he'll win. Back to the neutral zone. And Mammoth way outside. I think the clock says 42.8 remaining in regulation. Blevins for the face-off. And Mammoth advances in, right up the slot, sends a shot. Save Johnson. And Courts. Ooh, almost got his stick on it. Here comes Blevins. Fed it up for Courts. And he's going to get there first. Sends a shot. Loose puck. Back to the back wall. And Mammoth brings it back up the near side this time. Back out to the neutral zone, and Burks will race it down. Shoot! Back to Courts. Oh, sorry, back to Burks. That's it. That's it for the game. So both teams will take a point away, apparently. And that's it. That's a tie. One tie on the record books for your Pekin 10U AA Dragons. That was an exciting game, though, at least. And we're not coming away empty-handed, so that's good. Thanks for watching, folks. Don't forget about our St. Louis tournament next weekend. We'll have 4 games for you Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Tune in for that, and then we'll have a game against Peoria the following weekend for our final CSDHL regular season game. And Dragons and Mammoth line up for the congratulatory, celebratory fist bump, and we'll see you guys next weekend. Thanks for watching, folks. This is 33's Daddy signing off. Let's go, Dragons!